Happy Sunday, everybody. I woke up this morning and it was so nice waking up to darkness. And I slept very well last night. I woke up a few times, no big deal, listened to a few videos, went right back to sleep again. And yeah, I was able to experience a juxtaposition between a cloudy day and dining in a restaurant that was not crowded to then on a sunny, partly cloudy day going into a Walmart that half the Walmart is not as crowded, the other half is very crowded because of the food section. We went to go shopping for some curtains and of course a new TV, and I had to get a few items for food. And so when we first arrived at the Walmart yesterday, because I was feeling great, I was. And so we went and took care of that. I think we went to Starbucks right before that. And before that, we went to a Fisherman's Central to get something. Vicks. Not Fisherman's Central, Vicks. And then we went shopping at Walmart. Oh my gosh. When I first walked into the home section, no big deal. We're looking for curtains, found them. Everything's great. And then it was going into the food section. As we were putting stuff in the carriage, I started feeling just energy building up, energy building up, energy building up. And I was getting even more like frenetic. Like I was feeding off the energy in the environment, and it was seriously making me feel very weird. Almost as if you would say anxiety, but I don't want you guys to mistake anxiety as like a diagnosable condition that someone has that needs to be remedied versus reacting to an environment that's very intense. And since I have an activated immune system, any aggressive amounts of energy will activate everything within my immune system and cause the hamster wheel to turn faster, heartbeat faster, as well as movements go faster. And so I'm not in resistance. And so I'm going with the energy in the environment. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So leaving Walmart was great. And then I knew we had to put the blinds up. The house was so bright. We're taking stuff down, putting stuff up. I'm getting the pot roast ready and everything. And then finally he put up all the curtains and everything. It was so wonderful. Oh my God. And so then we made the pot roast, and I felt my arms kind of leaking a little bit. And I'm like, and I just couldn't eat my whole dinner. I ate a little bit of it. It was really good, but I couldn't eat all of it because I was just so tired. I seriously was tired, and I had to rest my eyes. And so that is a trip. And so I went to bed early, and it was like around 6 or 7 o'clock. And I just went to bed early and I stayed asleep. So when you think about it, it was like, what, 7 or 8? Oh yeah, I was like 7, let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 hours. On and off for 11 hours, yeah. Because that activity in that Walmart is probably comparable to going out there and running a marathon, doing wind sprints, especially in this highly amplified atmosphere. And so I have a theory about recouping resources lost during an energy conversion. Okay. So let me just go here and read this. All right. So this is about like why people wear glasses. And yeah, I mean, when you think about it, they're saying that most people that are in intellectual fields, corporate America, they wear glasses. That's why wearing glasses is tied to like intelligence and all of that academics. And I can kind of see that in a lot of ways because those that are staying indoors most of the time, which is okay, and with predisposed issues because, they're probably more of the left brain versus the right brain. And so they have the antigen antibody programming cause a lot of accelerated activity. But then also when you're during the week, when you're doing your studies or in the office, corporate America, then on the weekends, people are out there excessively in the light so much that they don't feel the pain behind their eyes. And so they do damage over time and they have to wear glasses. And then, of course, those predisposed issues get carried on to the next generation. And of course, yeah, that's why you see kids wearing glasses too, along with being shoved outdoors all the time. So anyways, then I'm thinking like, oh, well, I need to factor in now the environment. And so, let me, and so I'm going to bypass the first couple paragraphs. And so I think I figured out the system in their diagnoses. The system wants you to age. They expect you to deteriorate. If you literally fight and resist the body trying to come back from deterioration, yes, you will age and even mutate aggressively relative to the situations. But you may not feel as much pain, and that's all relative. And if you did feel weird, you can use drugs. So as long as they are FDA approved for the intention. As far as eye damage, barring the eclipse, okay, so aside from the eclipse and all reflective chemical clouds and aggressive sun, being outdoors was great. The outdoors gave everyone a chance to exercise their eye muscles and practice looking off in the distance and practice hand-eye coordination. But the environment has changed. So back in July 2022, when I was going through that major mycoplasmic, beast that was within me that I released, looking off into the distance hurt my eyes so much. Everything hurt. Just the light hurt me. And so I think the reason why my eyes changed was from the last 3 years of the body going through its metamorphosis, staying home, staying safe, not being out there exercising my eyes so much, but also not putting a strain on them. And then not realizing that the environment became even more aggressive as far as the reflective particulates, causing retina damage. So when I did go outside, the light was so aggressive, I was seeing double far away. I mean, I noticed when I would go out there, like especially in Walmart, and I'm squinting, or being out there just out in the light, squinting, even the environment has become even too aggressive for the eyes, for children and adults. And if you don't have pain receptors behind the eyes, you won't know what kind of damage you've done until later. And so when you have to recoup resources and feel tired and have to be in the cover of darkness, and you have to be sick to release demons, eat food and rest your eyes, you're not supposed to do that. And people are not allowed to do that unless it's between certain times of the day that's acceptable to people around them. That's the slavery system. Expectations from your friends, your family, your work, that you can't recoup the resources lost from aggressive environments. And sometimes some environments are more aggressive than others. And you won't know because unless you feel right away, and then everyone's feeling it, because if you feel it, then everyone else should feel it. But you won't know with your eyes. That's the crazy, that's the whole seeing eye. That's the all-seeing eye. When you think about it, not so much, the surveillance system, the system watching everybody. MRIs, measuring dreams, putting ads in your dreams, all that stuff. But your eyes is what is being taxed so much out there. But even when you're in the cover of darkness and you're around all your electronics, the system can go do a whole MRI body scan, figure out what's wrong with you, or implant ideas or thoughts and feelings. You never know. You don't know now what the system can do, really. There's so much advanced technology. So no matter what, you're out there destroying yourself through the sun and the particulates, and you're inside, the system is going to analyze you. That's genius. That's the all-seeing eye. And I don't even think half the conspiracy world knows exactly those specific intentions. Either way you go, the system is going to destroy you, or they're going to study you. And they're studying you while they're destroying you. But you can save yourself, but you'll be studied. Because what do you think the system's doing with me? I'm in the darkness. I have the phone kind of next to me, but even if it's not, I have Wi-Fi. I'm around people. They have phones. They have Wi-Fi. The system will find every way to study whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? So that's the slavery system. Expectations, even if they are working against your body, mind, and spirit. But if you're okay with it, then it's not slavery. It's called your life. So people are like, I'm not a slave. I like going to my work every day from 9 to 5. I like going to all the different events that my husband or wife drags me to. I love it. It's my life. I like boating and fishing, which, okay, I get it. That's fine. If you're okay with it, it's not slavery. But when you want to change, When a person wants to change and the people around them don't want them to change, that's the slavery system. When you get sick and you really should be cutting down your hours and not cutting into yourself through the medical system and surgery system, but when you get sick, that's the time when you should be recouping resources, releasing demons, eating food and resting your eyes in the cover of darkness, optimally. People are not allowed to do that, so they get okay with cutting into themselves. They're okay with starving themselves. They're okay with taking remedies and surgeries. They're okay with just doing things against their body, mind, and spirit, committing transgressions, sins against their body. Which is why, so literally, gaining your life back is frowned upon in our society. The system and the people around you want you to use up your lifelines until there's nothing left. Which is why you must understand every aspect of the environment you live in today, before 2019. And you must understand physiologically what is going on. Because I'm telling you, it's like a payment system. But see, you don't get those pain receptors telling you. But when you're squinting, and I wasn't in pain in the Walmart, but I was feeling weird. So much light was coming through. I was squinting too, and I was acting energetically erratic. It was okay the first 15 or so minutes, but then as we stayed in there and then moved to a more crowded section called the food section, oh my God, it was crazy. Okay. And so if you want to prolong your life, you have to slow down. You have to give yourself a rest from the outdoors and the people. Your body will change, yes, because it must. Then your body will let you know when you've been in very harsh environments. And that's some crazy stuff. And so, again, Saturday was not very harsh. Just my husband and I, it was cloudy. Yeah, it was still bright outside, but it was cloudy. Okay. So there was rain. It was still all amplified, but it was manageable. We went to a restaurant, no big deal. And we came home, no big deal. I felt great. I felt actually normal. But then you go into a Walmart, all bets are off. You go into anything and it was also partly cloudy. It was also mostly sunny yesterday. Today is going to have storm risk, 71 degrees. And so I was researching, when did the rise in glasses and eye issues, and they're saying there's a steady increase in damage to people's eyes from all sorts of factors. Some, they would say correlation to the office environment would make that causation. Others could say outside without wearing sunglasses continuously, which kids need to be outdoors, but for how long? And then they have to wear sunglasses and protection. And you know how that goes with people and their kids and babies and all that. But that was before being outdoors. Yeah, you need eye protection, you need sun protection. And you had to really learn how to exercise your eyes, look off into the distance, and even the whole hand-eye coordination, playing sports. I played a lot of sports as a kid and was outdoors most of the time, playing in creeks and all that stuff. But that was in 1985, 1995. Well, now we're in 2024. The whole environment has changed. But we have parents and kids and people living like it's 1985 in a more aggressive environment, causing then more issues with malnutrition because the sun and the amplified particles are leaching the minerals out of these children's bodies. And then, of course, all the diets and the gluten-free and everything else is causing also malnutrition. And then the accelerated human growth hormone is causing such stretching in these poor kids. They're not reinforcing their bones, their muscles, not enough fat. They're growing up they're growing in deficit. And so, yeah, when they're 23, either they die suddenly or they're breaking bones left and right, and mommy's breaking bones left and right. I mean, just look on your Facebook and people and just watch them advertise their issues. And so I was doing research on why it is that the population is steadily having eye issues. And yeah, of course, it's climate change too. But now, yeah, you need to be wearing eye protection if you're going to be out there a prolonged amount of time. And I'm like, my husband, he wears glasses. I wanted to attribute to the outdoorsmen, but maybe nowadays outdoorsmen will not only age faster and turn into beef jerky, but they'll have cancer, disease, chronic illness, and also eye issues because the reflective light is causing retina damage. And so I really couldn't make any association with my husband's situation because I don't know when he had bad eyes, but I guess he always had bad eyes. But he's an outdoorsman too. But they were saying mostly it's corporate America. But again, it's all relative to the environment, lifestyle, and predisposed issues. And so yeah, researchers keep finding new factors that may be linked to your likelihood of developing myopia. And while nothing's settled yet, so science has never settled, okay? A couple of factors keep rising to the top. According to a review of myopia research and Collins, spending time outdoors is one of the best things a kid can do for a healthy eye growth, though Collins also reminds kids to protect their eyes with a hat, even then, or sunglasses while they're out there. And she also recommends eating plenty of leafy greens for the record. But again, that's still not enough. It's too bright out there. But you can't tell people this, right? Outdoor light may help your eyes grow, and being outside gives your eyeballs more opportunities to flex your muscles by focusing on distant objects. While data is surprisingly scarce, available evidence suggests kids may spend less time outdoors than they did a generation or two ago. So again, they still have to factor in the environment, the climate, all that stuff. But I still put it out there because you have to take into account the environment, and it's so aggressive. And of course, all the intolerance to food, air, and water. I mean, it's not going to matter what you do or do not do at this point. But I guess if you can, get used to the transition of the darkness to relative light to then aggressive light. And that's why you have, your room where you sleep and where you live mostly dark, and then a little bit of light in other areas, get a little bit of light, and then if you have to be out there, fine, but then you're going to need more than 8 hours, and maybe even sometimes you need to stay away out of the light so much and be more indoors because of how aggressive it is out there. But again, people's lifestyles are so different, and so you have to be the one to figure out how much you can handle. I mean, it's all balance relative to your situation, okay? And so I made sure that up here is dark. The bathroom is dark too. He put shades, blinds on that picture window, and then there's double layers, dark navy blue. And I have, you saw the blackout curtains, and I have also the blinds behind that. And then I still have the jeans up in this window, but that's okay. But he put in also a blackout curtain plus some other shades on top of that in here. So it's very dark here. And then when I go downstairs, if it's cloudy outside, it's not too bright. But when it's sunny outside, it's fucking bright. And so if during sunny days, I'll be up in here versus downstairs. If I have to be downstairs, fine. But there is blinds. My husband had blinds in the kitchen window. The blinds, he put a blackout curtain on the door where sugar used to go out. So it's darker in the kitchen, but it's the living room or the family room and the dining room that's bright. That's for my husband. But again, you still have to get used to some light. I mean, you don't want to have just white eyes, okay? Oh yeah, so as far as the whole thing with Israel, I don't know, man. Israel, they'll figure it out for themselves. They will figure it out for themselves. They're pretty equipped to handle drones and other things going after them. And so whether or not the West or NATO will help them or not, I guess at this point, it doesn't even matter. But I would not take a side. I would dispense from taking a side when it comes to that, because you have no idea really what the true situation is. Mountain Dew voltage, you go figure out what that is. I don't know. You can figure that out. So anyways, my room is great. Oh yeah, scientists developed paint that reflects 98% of the sun's rays, reducing air conditioning need up to 40%. So there is a way to get paint to reflect the light away from the house. No different than what the system is doing, reflecting the light away from the earth in some parts of the country, making parts of the country that were once warm colder, and vice versa. Okay, so you know what science can do. And then there's me, 50 plus. Some days look better than others. Okay. And then I wouldn't be out there. People in Australia, in a higher echelon community, they're going to the malls like nothing is going on, and there are people getting STABBED. They're getting stabbed. 7 dead and 9-month-old baby stabbed as man carries out knife attack at mall in Australia. I wouldn't be out there. But people don't realize this. When you have money, you don't realize that shit's changed. You think your money is going to protect you. No, money can't stop a bullet. Money can't stop a stab attack. Money can't replace awareness, okay? People think they have money, that they're home free. They think they're away from America, they're home free. No, honey, you're not. You have to be able to handle the environment, okay? And so, oh yeah, supplements are causing bleeding. People are addicted to supplements. It's called internal bleeding and other things. And so I told you, but even then, many of you will not listen to this information because you're one-sided. You think the government is out to get you, and maybe they are in certain circumstances when you choose for them to be out to get you. Many of you have no discernment when it comes to the government. It's either all or nothing for you. And so most people who are biased throw out the baby with the bathwater. Then their programming will run them into the ground because they can't change a damn thing about their politics, their religion, or their science. And so I already see people addicted to supplements. They love the aggressive energy it gives them until their heart beats them to death because they have issues with food and they have a very aggressive lifestyle out there, keeping up with all their friends and family. Well, good luck with that. And so, yeah, we're in an amplified environment, cooking your family and friends and pets. And of course, what is it? Silent weapons for quiet wars. Well, drones are not really silent. And there is the protective dome that Israel has. So if Iran's not going to use a proxy and they're going to directly attack Israel, what do you think Israel is going to do to Iran and any other country that supports Iran? This is going to be interesting. So those of you that are like cheering for Iran doing that to Israel, you don't know what the hell the Pandora's box that's been opened. I wouldn't cheer for Iran. I wouldn't cheer for Israel. I wouldn't cheer for war at all. Because the system wanted you to see all that death and devastation from those poor kids in Palestine. And they wanted you to react. They wanted you to hate Israel. So that way Israel has then a justification when someone attacks them to then do something even more aggressive that will then justify a lot of death and destruction. And so be very careful cheering for anyone. Be very careful reacting to the images that you see on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anything else. Because then you're feeding into the justification for someone to do a far more damage than what you've been seeing. And that's how the system gets the conspiracy world. That's how the system gets the mainstreamers. That's how the system gets so many people who are so predictably reactive. You can't stop what's here. You can't stop what's coming. So survive it. But cheering for any side at this point, you're just as bad as whoever it is that you are against, if not worse. All right, bye.